Final X is coming up Saturday, June 14th, and I got my friend Andrew Spay here. We're gonna do a little whiteboard war, and we're breaking down women's freestyle matches at Final X, and we got the match order lined up for you. This is the order they will wrestle, and starting with the top, we got a really good one at 55. We got Everest Lidecker taking on Christelle Rodriguez. Spay, how you feeling about this matchup?
This is a great one to start off the women's portion of Final X. It'll be two mats. It'll be happening simultaneous, men's mat and a women's mat. Victoria Anthony's going to be in the call with her guy David Bray. Can't wait for that. And yeah, best 2 out of 3. Start off with a U20 world champ and Everest Lidecker U17 world champ. The depth in the US, that's the theme for all this. No matter how this all shakes out, the depth gets better every year. America gets better at wrestling on the women's side of things every year. You know, Lidecker is one of the best, brightest shooting stars of the sport. Still in high school. Has another year of high school. Has already won Who's Number One 3 times. Just getting invited to Who's Number One is an extremely difficult thing to do. But Christelle Rodriguez has already done it at the next level at U20. Is she ready for senior level? I think this one goes 3 matches.
Okay.
Lidecker's got some really tough parterre, but I think Rodriguez just has a little bit too much experience, a little too much strength. She's a little under the radar. People forget she's a U20 world champ.
People forget.
I'm gonna put my initials here. Yeah, not us.
We don't forget.
And you know, there's no war. We're all on the same team, Team USA. But me and John are gonna compete against
it's fun
each
to make
other.
our picks.
Who can pick the most world teamers?
And Rodriguez won at the US Open, but it was a close match. It was a match that could have gone either way, and Lidecker had a call, didn't go her way, and I could definitely see her flipping the script here. And the thing about Everest Lidecker is, we already said it, she's so young, she's only getting better and better. We saw her at the World Team Trials look just phenomenal. And so I'm gonna say she carries that momentum into Final X and makes her first senior level world team, and which would be an incredible feat as a high schooler. And then moving on to 62, we got Kayla Miracle, multiple-time world medalist, taking on Adugo Nwachukwu. This is familiar matchup. These two have wrestled a lot in the past. Miracle's come out on top every time, but you could say Nwachukwu's kind of closing the gap a little bit. Kayla, I think she only scored off her dump at the US Open. So you could say this could be a sneaky little upset, but I'm not gonna pick that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll with Kayla here.
This is the upcoming, Nwachukwu is the upcoming talent. She's a little bit younger. She's showing off that we have depth at these weights, because she's gonna challenge a 2-time world medalist in Kayla Miracle. But yeah, that tricep control is really good from Kayla. Nwachukwu has the ability to keep things really interesting. She does lat drops, she does inside trips.
A lot of offense, yeah, for sure.
Upper body, so you are not safe in a match with Nwachukwu. That's why I think she could take one, but I think the best 2 out of 3 is gonna favor Kayla.
Okay.
And so I agree with your pick there. Moving up to 53. Now this one is interesting because they have a history. Not only were they teammates for a year at the University of Iowa in their inaugural season, but they've wrestled, because you can enter two women at the same weight at the NCAA championships, which wasn't officially sanctioned, so there's a little bit different rules. But anyway, they're like 3-3 in their lifetime series. Familiar opponents, evenly matched. Brianna Gonzalez won at the US Open, but it didn't look like a sure thing.
Really close, really tight match.
It's similar type of wrestlers. Felicity's got a little bit longer reach. Brianna maybe a little bit more explosive. This is a tough one. I'm going with the hot hand, but this is a toss-up. This is truly a toss-up, and I guess I'm just sticking with the left side here.
Okay.
And going Brianna Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Still a Hawkeye as well. She's had a couple years of eligibility, I believe.
Yeah, this is a match, could definitely go either way. It's really whoever's night it is, right? And so I loved what Felicity Taylor, I loved her mindset after World Team Trials. It seemed like she had a clear plan in knowing what she needed to fix going into this match against Gonzalez. And so maybe it's just because I talked to her and interviewed her, but I'm gonna go with Felicity Taylor.
Yeah, that recency bias, it can be a tough thing to shake.
It can be hard, yeah.
And there's no reason not to pick either one of these wrestlers. I think they're both very evenly matched.
Yep.
Don't have to be much of an analysis to figure that one out. But now we got 59, and it's Abby Netty doing it at the Open. But now we have Jakara Winchester, who says, I will wrestle whatever weight I want.
Yeah.
Right now, she's been at 59 before. She's been down at 53. She's won at a lot of places.
I think she wrestled 62 at one tournament.
She did at
Senior
the
Nationals.
Senior Nationals before the Olympics.
Whatever weight she wants
and
to
she
go.
won that too, because they don't call her Jakara Losechester. They call her Jakara Winchester.
That's
She's
right.
still got her slickness. She's still super tough. Abby Netty, a great competitor. She's been on the senior level scene for a while. But this one, not a lot of deliberation. It's Jakara for me.
Yeah, you kind of said it. She's capable of keeping things close. I just don't think she has the offense to keep up with Jakara Winchester. And so I'm agreeing with you here. I think she does it in 2 straight matches.
Yeah, I think a safe pick there. 65, a veteran Macy Kilty returning medalist. So she got to sit out.
Yep.
And Macy has been, if you've been following women's wrestling, she's made every age level and medaled at every age level that you can. She was one of the first women to be invited to Who's Number One. She is one of the leaders in the sport, and it's pumped to see her back out there doing her thing, and she'll have a tough opponent, Anya Drury. But I think we have we got a heavy favorite as well.
Yeah, it's pretty lopsided here. And Macy Kilty, breaking down this matchup, a lot of times when she's wrestling opponents, even like Anya Drury, it makes it look like Macy Kilty's just drilling, snap to run into the leg or get into her bar. She's that good to where she can just put techniques together and make it look really easy. And for that reason, she's my pick to win in 2 straight matches here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and reiterate, alluded to it before. She's the favorite, and I think in 2 makes the most sense too.
Yeah, we got another fun matchup here at 76. You talk about wrestlers with history. Kylie, Welker, Diamond Guilford wrestled a lot throughout their careers over the last few years, and we've seen it go kind of both ways. And I think at the beginning it's kind of been Diamond, but then more of late, Kylie Welker just progressively getting better. She won her first senior world medal last year at 72, now up at 76. So it feels like Kylie Welker is the favorite just based on where she's been at recently, how good she's looked at the US Open, how she won that bracket with Guilford in it. And because of that, Kylie Welker is my pick here.
Yeah, you saw the women's upper weights from the Olympics kind of do a little bit of switching. Amita Lohr was at 68. She's moved up to 72, where she's wrestled senior level in the past. Kylie Welker bumps up. She has a medal at 72. And Diamond Guilford's made a world team at 76 before, so she's got experience. That's that depth. It's good to see the sport with that kind of trajectory up and to the right.
Sure.
I agree with your analysis. I would not be surprised if Guilford takes this one. Kylie is still relatively young. She's got a few years left at Iowa, where she's a Hawkeye in Iowa City. But I think she's gonna come into her own here and really lay claim to 76. And I'm not gonna say, the next 10 years it's gonna be all Welker at the upper weight there for our women's team, but I could see that happening.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from Diamond, but right now I'm picking Welker.
Yep, and then down at the lowest weight, 50, we got the young up-and-comer Audrey Gimenez, where it just feels like she's been knocking on the door. At the senior level, she's still only, 20 years old?
Yeah, gonna be a freshman in college. Lehigh just announced that they're sponsoring women's wrestling at the varsity level. It's gonna be sanctioned by the NCAA. She could be a Mountain Hawk national champion at the NCAA level.
Love to see it.
Next March.
Love to see it. So she's gonna be a freshman in college, and then you got Goldston, who's been on the senior level for
a decade plus. She's got world medals at the age level.
Right.
She has been, just as much knocking on the door as Audrey, but just for a whole lot longer. And what happened is you have Sarah Hildebrandt retiring after the Olympics. You're gonna have some new faces, new blood. Is it finally time for Aaron to take over, or is it gonna be Audrey again? Because we saw what happened at the US Open.
Yeah, at the US Open, it was all Audrey, and man, Audrey's offense and then her transition into parterre offense has just looked so good. Audrey Gimenez is my pick at Final X.
Yep, and I got to ditto that. Would love to see Goldston make a team. I hope she's got a few more years left and is able to figure out a way onto the lineup. But Gimenez, this is going to be the face. She's going to be on a lot of teams going forward.
Yep. Yeah, it feels like she's just going to take over 50 and hold it for a long time. But
she is not big. She's not going to be cutting too much. She's going to comfortably make 50.
Yeah, what I was going to say was man, we've seen crazy things happen at Final X, so definitely
we saw one of the craziest upsets at the Olympics at 50 kilos.
Yeah, right.
So nobody's safe.
All right, 68. Kennedy Blades down at 68 from 76 last year, where she won an Olympic silver medal. And looks like Kennedy Blades, that we know and love, against Brooklyn Hayes. Brooklyn Hayes came through, won a tough bracket at World Team Trials, but I feel like, Kennedy Blades, just so much offense, too much offense. And I think she's gonna win this one in dominant fashion.
The fact that she's down at 68 and still moving, still doing everything that she did at 76, she's got a very tall, long frame and reach, and she is explosive and does lots of suplexes. That's kind of like her move.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what she does at 68. Brooklyn Hayes, very tough. One of the more fun people you ever get to talk to at tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Very gregarious, but it's what's on the mat that is really what we're talking about here. So I'm going to go with Blades. She's another one that's going to be making lots of teams. Already an Olympic silver medalist and still very, very young.
Yeah. Now, 72, we got Olympic gold medalist Amit Elor making her return to this weight class where she's won worlds, a couple times. And she's taking on Alex Claudet, who won the US Open. And, at first glance, you say, okay, Amit Elor, huge favorite. But really close match.
Team Trials was not a walkover.
Right.
Very tough. Sky Grote. She's been on the scene for a little while now, too. Gave Allure more than I think anybody was expecting, an Olympic gold medalist.
Right.
And maybe there was a little mat rust. Maybe it was just getting in the groove down at 70 or up at 72 again. But Amit looked very human. And we were just talking in the office before that whole thing.
She's never going to lose again.
Is Allure going to go on for a decade plus? But it's like, hey, everybody is vulnerable. But kind of hard to pick against Amit. She's still super, super strong and positionally sound, and it's just the snap down, go behinds are eventually gonna get her points or step outs. Glaudet's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be a walkover, but I think it's Allure in 2.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Amit, shared in the interview afterwards, she was dealing with some injuries, some sickness in her training, so it sounded like she didn't have peak training. So I think we're gonna see a better Amit Elor at Final X.
Now we talk about some of the new blood coming in, but look who is still around. The GOAT of women's wrestling in America, Helen Maroulis, is coming back. She won her 3rd Olympic medal. 3 Olympic medals.
Yeah, crazy.
When
First Olympic gold medalist,
Yeah, when you look at how many Olympic medals we have in women's wrestling, it is not a lot. She's got like 20% of every medal. Anyway, she still looks great. She's still got those crazy sequences. The chain wrestling that she does is unmatched. It's wonderful to behold. So we're all lucky that we get to continue to watch Helen Maroulis. And Amanda Martinez, a very tough veteran. She's made age-level world teams. She's made a world team before. I think she was real close to medaling. 5th place match, right? But anyway, that's Martinez. We're not picking against the GOAT, I don't think.
No, not picking against her. But we just talked about how we hadn't seen Amit Elor wrestle, and Matt Russ didn't look like herself, and so we haven't seen Helen wrestle. She's been doing jiu-jitsu and been doing other things, still active, and obviously she doesn't forget how to wrestle. But it is kind of one of the things you look at as like, okay, is this peak Helen? And if
did all that jiu-jitsu add to her arsenal, and she's getting even better.
Yeah, there we go. Starts throwing some triangles or something. But yeah, Helen Maroulis all the way. But definitely interested to see Amanda Martinez at Final X.
Yeah, more depth. And yeah, these are going to be some fun matches. Couple toss-ups, some heavy favorites, a lot of medalists, but a lot of depth, and it's just going to be a lot of fun all the way around.
Yeah, those are our picks. Tell us where you agree or disagree. Super strong team this year. Whoever makes it out of Final X to wrestle at the World Championships. It's all going down Saturday, June 14th, live on FloWrestling.
Let's go.